is always break their posture. A broken posture means they're not passing their guard. But that's on the basic level. At the same time, I have to do something with it. I can't just, like on the self-defense level, okay, I'm holding, I'm safe, I'm not getting punched in the face, I'm keeping control, alright, fine. But on the sportive aspect, you need to have setups. You need to have things that are going to set up sweeps, submissions, or distance for you to stand up. Alright? But at the same time, I need to control posture, and I need to control his or her balance, right, while attempting what I'm trying to attempt. If you are not breaking the posture or disturbing their balance, it's either one or the other. I'm either breaking the posture or disturbing their balance. Okay? If I'm not doing either one of those things, then he will set and start to pass. Okay, so there's a few other drills that we could have done today that if we had a little bit more time, but I don't want to waste time, that you would talk about a little bit about disturbing the balance. And anytime someone's balances, they have to reset, well, if they have to reset, they're not passing. Okay? So that's a general idea kind of thing. If he has good posture, doesn't matter if it's stagger stance or your belt stance, right? If I feel somewhat threatened and I need to take my time, first thing I do is I raise my hips up and drive my feet to the mat. This makes me very heavy, okay, and hard, and now I don't have to worry so much about him standing up and picking me up. Okay, it also gives me a lot more leverage to break him down, because as I drop my hips to the mat and bring my legs forward, right, I'm going to have that extra little bit of momentum, okay? Baseball grip doesn't have to be deep. I just need a good grip on the lapel. Alright? I'm going to go to one side and go for the other for momentum, just like I did before, and I bring him down. I whip him with my legs and yank him. So I don't need a deep grip on it, I just need to yank his head down. Alright? So I'm here, hips up, I just grab a grip on anywhere, baseball grip. I go for one side for momentum, as I swing for the other, I yank him down and bring my legs in. Okay? Right away, hand closest to the head, goes and raises it up. I'm going to flare my elbow up. See? Flare my elbow up, because by doing so, it puts weight on the back of his head, and that's what I want. I'm going to keep control of that lapel on the bottom, because what I'm hoping for is that he's going to try to regain his posture. But he has to either, if you do this properly, he has no choice but to put his hands on the mat to do that. He can't put his hands on me, so he's going to put his hands on the mat to try and regain that posture. As he does so, I stay connected. Go, 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 go. Stay connected. Stay connected. Right? Now, several options. But the first one I always like to go for is hand on the mat, shift, lift that belt up, start to drive it, and right away, I take my hand out, because I don't want his body to land on my hand. I don't want to go bang and his body lands on my hand. You're going to hurt your fingers, you're going to hurt your knuckles. So if he's an aggressive opponent, right, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go back to try and gain that posture that he lost, you just take that right. Keep the lapel, don't let go of it, because when you're here, you're nice, you're kind of flaring your elbows a little bit. It's not just the one on top of the head. The one on here is flaring as well, because it's putting a lot of weight and a lot of pressure, all right? Baseball grip. See? Baseball grip. See that angle like you're able for me to grab? You'll never make it if you go straight. Right? You'll never make it. You have to create angles inside the guard. Alright? So, momentum. Boom. Use your legs to bring the rest of it to your hand. Keep control of the lapel. Look at how I flare. My elbow here too. Alright? As he goes to regain that posture, I stay tight and connected. Flare that elbow. Because the more he tries to posture with his head, the more he brings me up. Hand on the mat. Shift and start to drive. And I'm lifting up his body off the mat with the belt. Release, hips down, hard hips, and base. If he goes to defend his neck, then I will go up. If he goes to push my hips, I stay with my hips low, and we do our head hugs. Okay. I personally, if I'm doing, because there's different postures in mount, right? If I'm doing a very low posture, I like to close my guard. So I will mount like this. That's a personal choice. You're going to learn different ways. Different black belts have different methodologies, and all of them are correct in some way or another. Because Jiu-Jitsu is not black and white. There's a lot of gray, right? A lot of the variations and a lot of twists and turns. Okay. But as a bit of advice, it's all in the setup. You can do anything you want if your setup is good. Right? So you see how I'm going to angle. Lots of momentum to break the posture. Especially if someone's bigger than you, you're going to need a little bit of that momentum and that angle change. If you have the angle, much easier to reach and grab the belt. If they posture up, maybe they're a bit of aggressive opponent, they want to get that posture back, follow them. Right away. As you're coming up, I'm putting my hand down. As they're going up, I'm putting my hand down. Shift on an angle so you bump them sideways, not straight back. Because if you try to go back, they're going to push you right back inside the guard. They'll drive you forward. Right? So shift and bump. Hip bumps, you want the person to fall over their leg like this. You don't want them to go back because they'll resist and push you back. Make sense? Alright, with your partner. You're not on the clock now, you're just